Welcome back to News 46. Magnetic resonance imaging, or MRIs. Should parents be concerned if their baby is exposed to them early in their pregnancy? A new study looked into the risks associated with these scans on the fetus in today's JAMA report.
This health tip is brought to you by
Desert View Hospital and Mountain Valley Physicians Group. Don't put your health on hold. We have time for you. Call us to schedule your appointment. 775-751-7100.
Hi Lauren, Joel Ray, nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
Should women take a pregnancy test before having an MRI? A new study published in the Journal of the American Medical Association looked at the safety of magnetic resonance imaging during pregnancy, especially during the first trimester.
Are there any risks to the baby?
We already have a fair amount of data on CAT scan safety in pregnancy, but MRI was lacking.
Dr. Joel Ray and his colleagues at St. Michael's Hospital in Toronto analyzed data collected over 12 years and concluded that MRI in the first trimester was not harmful to the developing fetus.
A first trimester MRI is unlikely to be harmful, so special pregnancy testing or measures are unlikely to be required.
Women undergoing an MRI with the contrast agent gadolinium at any point during pregnancy were also included in the study. These MRIs with contrast were associated with a higher risk of fetal death and a variety of inflammatory and skin conditions in the newborn.
For gadolinium, it reinforces what's an to-date evidence-free notion that gadolinium might harm the fetus, and in this case, gadolinium contrast would be best avoided in pregnancy.
This is Laura Kelly for the JAMA Report.
And here's Eunette Gentry with this week's court report.
In this week's court report, court dates keep getting continued for the Pahrump woman connected to the killing of 17 dogs after a fire was reportedly intentionally set inside her home. Diane Davis is facing charges including first-degree arson and torturing, injuring, and abandoning animals. Davis was present in custody last Monday for those matters and a separate case for which her sentencing has been continued to October 3rd. In that separate second case in district court, Davis was found guilty on 2 of 3 counts after being charged with obtaining and using personal ID, offering false instrument for filing, and burglary. The jury trial for Davis's arson animal death case is now set for March 7th through 10th and March 14th through 17th, 2017, with a calendar call scheduled on February 6th, 2017. A local man who allegedly ordered his pit bull to attack his girlfriend after he reportedly punched her in the face had his pretrial hearing on Wednesday. Jacob Noel, who court officials are calling a repeat offender, was present in custody. The bench trial that was scheduled for tomorrow was vacated, and the show cause hearing that was set for October 11th is now rescheduled. Noel is currently in custody on a new arrest, violation of a temporary or extended order, which occurred on August 14th. Noel has at least 5 open cases in justice court, with charges including resisting a public officer, animals running at large, permitting animal to attack animal or another, harassment, and domestic battery. A local woman who pleaded guilty to burglary as part of a plea deal has now had her follow-up status hearing. The court notes that Chelsea E. Nicholson, who is out on OR, now has a certificate of service for notice to withdraw charges filed by the state. The defendant also previously faced petty larceny charges connected to this case. There was an order of dismissal without prejudice prepared for signature. Nicholson obtained money under false pretenses and must pay $115 to Superpawn and stay out of trouble for 1 year. The autistic Pahrump young man accused of a sexually inappropriate encounter with a minor is now back in the custody of the Nye County Detention Center after finally being mentally evaluated at Lakes Crossing. Results find that Travis Finkelstein has been found mentally competent. This, according to his father, Joel. 22-year-old Travis was charged with lewdness with a child under 14 back in 2013. However, the defendant, who reportedly has cognitive disorders and has the mental capacity of a 10 or 12-year-old, might have been falsely accused. Finkelstein's father provided News 46 with a letter from the alleged victim's therapist, which states the girl now says she has not ever had a sexually inappropriate encounter with Travis. The chief district attorney has been contacted requesting Travis's release, also due in part to him reportedly being bullied by other inmates. But there has been no word back yet. Finkelstein's next court date is now scheduled for September 19th. This has been your court report. I'm Eunette Gentry for News 46.
Thanks, Eunette. Well, you might have seen it. I know I did. Smoke and fire on the south end of town this morning. Well, firefighters responded to a highly visible brush fire on Gamebird today.
While we were operating on a motor vehicle accident at Highway 116-372, we observed a large smoke column developing on the south end of the valley, which almost simultaneously was being dispatched by the sheriff's office for a reported brush fire. Crews arrived on location and found a relatively slow-moving but a significant flame content on a grove of mesquite trees running along Thousand Air. Crews made good progress. We had additional apparatus to that assignment. There were no injuries and no extension or exposures.
Do you know how the fire started?
It's under investigation right now, and the on-duty lieutenant, Lieutenant Moody, is at the IC on that particular call, and he's waiting his arrival back.
And then as far as the mesquite trees, you guys kind of keep an eye on them, don't you?
We do. It's that time of year. You know, we've had some winds. It's extremely dry. We haven't had any precipitation. Just about any introduction of a ignition source is setting the nearby ground cover on fire.
One person was airlifted after crashing while riding an off-road vehicle over this holiday weekend. Scott Lewis also explains.
Crews were dispatched to a report of an injury at motor vehicle accident on the north end of the valley in close proximity to the airport. When they arrived on location, they found a quad accident with significant injuries. Therefore, Mercy Air 21 was added to the assignment. We utilized the north end of the Calvetta Meadows Airport as the LZ. Patient transfer occurred there, and that patient was then transported to UMC Trauma.
One patient?
One patient.
That was a single quad, right? Just with one rider only?
Yes, it's my understanding it was a single passenger vehicle.
More news, including what's coming up at the auction this week after this break.